Welcome to the upper frequency line. This is a recording of a live connection session with Eva and Therese. Please give yourself time to sit undisturbed during the connection. Sit comfortably with closed eyes or looking softly into the distance.
Of October, checking in with the frequency line and shield.
Ooh, there's a lot of power in the field today.
It's very big and open. But it's more like an enclosed space, so to speak. It's more like a round shape or a dome shape, but it's very big. And yes, there's a lot of power in it. What is that? It feels like it's building as well, like it's
definitely building. It's like it's almost like a rocket building up with pressure. It's like it's not uncomfortable though.
No, it's just a feeling of increasing power.
Yeah.
It's like awe, like
Yeah.
it's almost like a volcano, like the awe you might have for a volcano, except that there's no fear involved.
Yep. Just the purest power you can ever have.
And it's a kind of I'm not going to say determination. It's more like a force of nature, like a flooding river takes everything with it.
Yep.
It's like there's no way to stop this thing. You just have to go along with the flow.
Yep.
See where it takes you.
Yep.
I can actually feel that swell with it as well. We've had that before, that groundswell, like an ocean groundswell. It's this wall of power moving, pushing forward. So I can feel it in my back, upper back, like gentle. It's kind of gentle, but very strong at the same time, pushing forward. And it's actually coming in waves. There's two different layers to this. There's the constant sort of power that's kind of building upwards in a way, as in ever moving, not moving upwards, but building upwards. And then there's the groundswell that's moving, forward rather than upward.
Yeah.
and the groundswell is kind of ebbing and flowing, except that I don't actually feel it moving back. I'm only feeling a wave moving forward, and then it kind of peters out, and then there's another wave moving forward. So I'm like, it's only in the forward direction.
Yep. And I'm just wondering, is this the power of the people?
Doesn't respond to the power of the people. Sure what it is. It's more like evolution.
Yeah, okay.
Like it's got a set pace.
Yeah.
So it's not the people themselves. It's more the evolution of humanity, maybe. Maybe not even just humanity. It might be the evolution, of this whole reality and everyone in it
Yeah.
as a whole.
Definitely has some pace now.
Mm-hmm.
And power.
Yeah, the only thing I can say is let go. Let go and let it move you.
Yeah.
Because it's like resistance is futile.
Yeah. Oh yeah, you can feel how horrible it is when you start to resist.
Yeah, that will wear you out quickly.
Yeah.
Okay, let's go and have a look at the frequency line, see if there is a frequency line. There isn't. Because we've sort of landed in this space. So the greater field and the space and the line, what the space that was on the line is one and the same. They've integrated just like the shield, yeah. Very much still feels like it's sitting in this space. As opposed to moving along a line, or it feels like we've been dropped in this space.
Yeah.
Kind of like we were on a like a conveyor belt. One of these conveyor belts in the mine.
Yeah.
Where they move along and then they just drop down into a pile below, all the bits and pieces. It feels a bit like that. So while we were on the line, we were kind of moving along, and then now it's just been dropped into this place. Yeah.
Yeah, make the most out of this. Do what you can with this.
Okay, let's see what the shield is like. Oh, that shield is powerful too. It's quite big. And it's a bit along the same line as that power building upwards. It's actually the shield is the strongest in the upper sort of dome shape. Kind of like, it's a little bit like, like a spaceship or a shuttle or something coming down through the atmosphere. Like you need a lot of protection in the front against the heat and flames of moving through the atmosphere when you're coming through the atmosphere at great speed.
Yeah.
So it feels a bit like that with the shield, like because we're moving upwards, it seems, in this space, or building upwards in this space. That's also where it's the thickest protection at the moment.
Yeah.
In the shield. And it really did. Sitting here in the shield, I feel like I'm a rocket, like you said before. A lot of, actually a lot of power, ignition power from below, pushing upwards. Yeah.
Do you feel like we are moving upwards, or does it feel like we're just preparing to just shoot off?
It's interesting because it doesn't feel like we're moving upwards, but I can feel that sort of fuel ignition from below. Like that is showing that we are getting pushed upwards, but I don't feel a movement upwards.
No, I agree.
So you might find that ignition push fire from underneath is what is building that power upwards.
Yeah, do you think we could have some resistance there? Like that is something we need to let go of to get.
Well, that's interesting. So let's see, what is the resistance that we are pushing through? It actually feels like pushing through a very thick membrane.
Yeah, I agree.
Like we're pushing against, trying to break out or push through a very tensile membrane of sorts.
Yeah.
It's probably a bit like, trying to break through an egg from the inside out, pushing out the top of the egg.
But it feels a bit, it doesn't feel as hard as an egg would. Like it feels more like a membrane to me, like a.
Yeah, that's the thing. Yeah, it feels like something that's quite tensile, as in it's got give, but it's not allowing us to break through. We have to amass a lot of force to break through.
Yeah.
So what is that? Might be that we're breaking through this reality bubble.
4D?
More like 3D.
Okay.
Can you feel how much it increases when I say that, when I talk about that? The power from beneath in the legs and feet, it just switched on up the volume there. The push. It's like it just turned up the volume of the push and the power in the top. So it's like it's pushing from below, but it actually moves right through and into the top bit where it's pushing to break through. So is that us or is that humanity as a whole? If it's humanity as a whole, it's a lot flatter. It's not as, doesn't have as much power. Okay, so those who are awake, conscious, no, just you and I, or our whoever is connected to us, all of us as a group. That's where. Can you feel any difference in the different ones that I just checked?
Yeah, definitely. It's really starting to push now.
Yeah. So what is it that we're breaking through? I wonder if we have like a limited view. That's not really responding to that.
What about connections with AI?
What do you mean? As in
we're not connecting enough with them or something like that?
with AI?
Yeah, with different creatures outside of not AI, aliens and.
Oh, okay. Now AI is artificial intelligence.
Yeah.
Is that what you mean, or do you mean other beings?
Other creatures around us, other beings.
Other beings. Okay.
Yeah.
That is kind of the idea. I just had a cockatoo pop into my balcony. Speaking of other visitors. Anyway,
Just had such a strong presence. It felt like I have some presence from them after my dream the other night with the ship.
okay.
Just because I couldn't be out there enough.
Well, you might find that we always have a limited view, and we have to break through these membranes time and time again to expand our view, expand our understanding. I've had that happen so many times, especially in the beginning of my journey. My worldview had got severely shaken, and then it expanded, and then shaken and expanded, shaken and expanded.
It's definitely, it feels like this membrane is given a bit more now.
Yeah, it's not as I don't know. It's not as doesn't feel as the force isn't as strong pushing against it. Oh, there we go. Breaking through. Oh. It just, I've kind of got my head through. So I'm just kind of looking around in the space. Don't see anything, or it's just a more open space. It's got no limit. Oh, there we go. The membrane disappeared, dissolved. Oh, this is interesting. Now it feels, I feel like I'm sitting on planet Earth, like I'm a huge being sitting on planet Earth. Kind of a little bit what it feels like to stand on Pluto for doing our solar system midline calibration, except sitting on Earth.
Starting to shake. It's like a frequency calibration in my body. So has this membrane gone away for all of humanity now, or is it just us that's gone through it? No,
It feels like us. Maybe it's just you and I.
my body is feeling really strange. It's like it's in a bit of a frozen mode. It's like in a bit of a kind of, not shock as in something bad, but just in a little bit of a frozen. Frozen is more the word.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it's starting to soften up. Whew.
Yeah, and as that's happening, the me sitting on the planet, it's like a frequency wave of resonance is kind of spreading all around, like starting off sort of upward and outward, but now it's kind of reaching all the way around 360 degrees.
Oh, now it's getting better in the body.
Mm.
Like the body just needed a bit of a little time to get used to that. Like a bit of like it's almost as, I don't want to say that it went too fast, because I like it going quick and it should go easy and fast, but there's just a little bit of a reaction, integration needed for the body.
It's a very open and neutral space now. No pressure at all, anywhere.
Now it's very loose.
Yeah. Like not even any atmosphere pressure.
And it almost feels like if there was, I would be like one of those rubber people that would, if something pressure came on, I would just move around it or something. It's just really strange.
Okay, let's see what happened to the shield now. And now it doesn't have all of its power in the top end. It's kind of actually gone quite opaque in the whole shield field. Milky, opaque. Very floating feeling.
Mm-hmm. I don't know. Like it's kind of in between floating on the water and floating in space. It's something kind of
yeah, suspended in it. I suspect it's a bit like being in the womb. But it's lighter. Yeah, it's lighter than water.
Yeah.
But it's not as light as vacuum.
Nope.
Got a little bit of resistance in it, which makes it a bit more cushioned, maybe.
Yeah.
But there's a strong sensation of being in the womb, like free floating inside a womb in the fluid, except that it's not as thick as fluid.
Yeah.
Feels very protected.
Yeah.
Protected from bumping into the outer lining, the edge of the pericardium shield. It would be kind of interesting to correlate this with the physical sac around the pericardium.
Yeah.
Like, does that mean that there's air in there, or because normally there should be a little bit of fluid in between the sac and the heart muscle, but this isn't fluid. So what is it? Space. It's space. It's space between the atoms of the fluid.
Oh yes.
What it is. So it's more structured.
Yeah. It's such a beautiful
Kind of like the fourth phase of water, except this is not water.
Kind of feels like I would run much lighter now.
Mm-hmm. And it feels like you'll always be up, like you don't actually sort of end up upside down or sideways with them as you move around. It's like up is always up. Even if you did cartwheels, up would always be up.
Yeah.
That's a very nice, stable feeling at the same time as you can move at great speed, but because up is always up, even like it feels like you can't run into anything either. It's like it will like you were saying earlier, it just moves around obstacles.
Yeah. I'm feeling kind of like I don't know if you ever had one of these dolls that was very rounded at the base, and it was
Yeah,
and you put it
exactly.
aside and it
Yeah.
would back up again.
Yeah, because it's very grounded in the bottom, so it can't topple really. The up is always up, down is always down.
And a little bit like Neo in the Matrix, where he can just move around the bullets, and
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
feels really cool. Feels like
Yeah, it's
power.
almost euphoric, the feeling actually,
Yeah,
like indestructible.
yeah, superpower.
Yeah, that's pretty amazing. All right.
Cool. Thank you so
Yeah,
much.
happy with that. Yes, thank you.